Tired of the same old rides? Don't feel like shopping anymore? Too young to gamble? Looking for something the whole family can enjoy? Maybe it's time for something different. Something supernatural. Come experience Niagara Falls' newest attraction, Supernatural Niagara. At Supernatural Niagara, we don't take you on a journey behind the falls. We don't put you in a noisy boat near the falls. We put you in the falls. How do we do that, you wonder? Well, come on down and find out for yourself. Supernatural Niagara awaits. Your journey begins in the original surge tank of the OPGS. After purchasing your ticket, you step into the underground gondola and begin your descent down into the main turbine hall. The 136-foot descent takes approximately 2.5 minutes and deposits you at the catwalk level in the main turbine hall. No electronic devices are permitted in Supernatural Niagara, as they may interfere with the sensitive equipment inside, so as you walk along the catwalk, the attendants ask all visitors to prepare to deposit all electronic equipment, including cell phones, pagers, Walkmans, cameras, and watches, in the secure code check. At the code check, you receive a magnetic key which opens the simulators and also acts as your ticket to retrieve your belongings. Once through the code check, you are in the main turbine hall, and arrayed before you are the now defunct generators and turbines along with the simulators. There are 24 simulators in the hall. Each simulator admits one person. Each simulator represents a portion of the Niagara Falls experience for you. Nothing is left out, from the WWF to the casino, from the Hershey's store to the t-shirt shop, from Falls iconography to ephemeral agents like mist and gravity. Supernatural Niagara has it all. As new technologies emerge, as the components of Niagara Falls change, so too will the simulators. The existing 88-ton crane, previously used to move turbines and generators, is now used to move simulators back to the shop, where their internal components can be replaced, upgraded, or changed. There is no predetermined sequence, but each simulator can only be experienced once per visit to Supernatural Niagara. Once you've reached the end of the hall, you pass through the giant mirror to the first of 4 sensory chambers. Each chamber deals with a particular sense group: olfactory, taste and smell, haptic, touch, auditory, sound, and visual, sight. The purpose of each chamber is to sensitize you to the specific sensory effect that the falls have on the body. The first chamber is the olfactory chamber, an artificially lit greenhouse with a plethora of plants and organisms concocted together by our resident small meister, to simulate the smell of the falls. To heighten the realism and give you the taste of the falls in the lips, the mist in the chamber is actual Niagara water drawn upstream from the falls. The second chamber is the haptic chamber. Quarried from the Niagara escarpment, the haptic chamber began as an enormous solid piece of loamy sandstone, but, with the aid of explosives and jackhammers, passages were carved from the stone. Once open to the public, only high-pressure water cannons are used to shape and carve the rock in exactly the same fashion as the falls are doing to the escarpment. However, the rate of erosion will match that of the Niagara escarpment were it not being slowed by the effects of hydro. The third chamber, the auditory chamber, is like walking into a total whiteout. The light emanating from every surface is so powerful that it is impossible to distinguish the edges of the room or to perceive any depth. The only points of reference are the 3 black apertures of the exits and the top of one of the generators in the floor. In this white room, HSS or hypersonic sound speakers are used to recreate the deafening roar of the falls. Because HSS technology enables directional sound unlike anything we are normally accustomed to, the speakers are oriented and positioned to create another shape within the limitless white hue, a shape defined by the sound of the falls. Finally, the visual chamber utilizes holographic technology on an unprecedented scale to recreate different moments and perspectives on Niagara Falls, drawn from both reality and representation. Anything from being on the viewing platform of supernatural Niagara itself, to footage from such films as Niagara, starring Marilyn Monroe, to being underneath the churning vortex at its base. Upon exiting the visual chamber, visitors can reclaim their coats and electronic devices and enjoy the hands-down best view of the falls available. From the platform, you have an incredible view of the Horseshoe Falls. Visitors then ascend to the roof of the building for yet another perspective on the Horseshoe Falls, see the fast disappearing American Falls, and leisurely take in the full experience. Finally, you return to the gondola, which brings you back up to the level of town, and all the dearly loved and yet completely generic activities somehow associated with Niagara Falls. Just remember, one visit to supernatural Niagara can never be enough. Come back and come back often to see new simulators, improved sensory chambers, the movement of the falls, and the different seasons.